Hey, folks, welcome back to the Pulse. My name is Matt, the Script of Heartbeat. We're back at it again with an interview. And, folks, I wonder how you're doing. I mean, I'm excited to share new projects, right? People are building out there. And as I've always done on this channel and haven't done for a while, is anyone that's new that's doing anything is welcome on the channel. I'm not a part of SOYL Energy. Um, I'm just interested. I'm interested in helping projects and builders in the Pulse chain. And so, just so you know, I'm not a holder, I'm not a founder, not involved. I'm just a YouTuber who's saying, hey, if you're a genuine, honest person who wants to come in and build, and you have good intentions, that's what I'm here for, is to share with folks. And I think how this came about was a couple, like last week, I shared a stream about the concept of um, association, right? So being successful by association and talking about real world assets and how I believe that communities of trust, like associations, and I use the example of farming, right? Use that example, and it was interesting. This kind of came out of that. Hey, here's a project that actually has a product that is creating real value in the real world, but also has crypto component tied in and AI. And I thought this is really intriguing. And so I connected with Rob D, and he's a OG Hexagon. And I'm like, all right, let's check out this. So I'm going to be learning with you. There are links in the description to the website, to the white paper, to all of those things. So take a look. But no financial advice here, really just exposure and an opportunity for Rob to share what he's doing and for you to learn about it. I'm intrigued by things that are tied to, real world stuff. I mean, that's kind of the kick I've been on recently. But let's say hello to you in the chat, and then we will jump in with Rob D. Taryn, thanks for being here. Sam Kemp is here. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Francis Paul, welcome back. Checks my pulse in the house. And Drix. What's up, Drix? Appreciate you being here. Well, let's bring him in. We are having a little bit of technical difficulty, and hopefully we got that sorted out. Not sure we have, but folks, the founder of SOYL Energy, Rob D. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? Hopefully you guys can hear me well.
Hey, good.
Down
good.
Here in the Southern Hemisphere, and maybe the internet's not so good down here. I don't know.
That's all right. I can hear you well, and if we have to, we can pull video and just do audio. But Rob, it's good to meet you. I'd love for folks to know who you are outside of your project. Yep. We'll jump into that, but just tell us a little bit about you. I've seen you in the community. I've seen a lot of your fast cars and fast women. It's been amazing to watch your YouTube. Or, I'm sorry, your Twitter and stuff. But tell me about you.
No more fast women. Used to be
right.
fast women.
No more of that
now. So that's
good job.
I found a good one. So I settled down, had a kid, and so yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I got into crypto back in 2015, and became heavily into mining, into Bitcoin mining. Traveled the world with that. I spoke at events. Did a couple ICOs. Spoke in London, China, Miami. So I've kind of been around the space. Was able to know Richard Hart before Hex, actually on a mining deal that we were working on together. And so yeah, even pre-Hex. So that's I feel very blessed. Every time I've spoken to him, I learned something new. He's probably one of the smartest guys I think I've ever met. He's a good friend of mine. I miss him a lot. I haven't spoken to him since the day of my wedding. That was the last time I spoke to him. And so that's, it's kind of sad. I miss him. I hope that this thing blows over with the SEC, which I think it will, because he's an amazing guy. And every single time, he's just been a supreme gentleman. And so really, really thankful to have met him and know him, and got into Hex. Hex was able, to change my life even more than what Bitcoin did. So yeah, so it's that's basically how I kind of ended up here. Before crypto, I was in the armor industry. I'm the inventor of bulletproof underwear. That's my claim to fame.
No way.
So, and I'm kind of, yeah. Well, you don't want to be shot down there. It'll ruin your day.
True.
So I ended up inventing that. I sold that in 2015. That's how I got into. That's why I got into Bitcoin. And then, so I've been entrepreneur. And actually before that, kind of that ties into what I'm doing now. Back in 2012, my old partner got into aeroponics. Aeroponics became super popular in right after 2010, 2011, when it came out that it was a NASA technology, because actually aeroponics comes from NASA. They were thinking about how to grow crops on the moon. That was basically what's the fastest and best way. Actually, if you've seen the movie with Matt Damon where he goes to Mars, same principle. How do you grow crops? And so the aeroponic towers are the best way, the fastest way to grow crops. It's the most efficient way. Less water, no soil, just nutrients. And so there was Achilles heel though with it. I saw that my partner was kind of struggling with this, and commercially it was viable. It's fine because you've got somebody to kind of stay behind it and stay after it. The residential units kind of struggled a bit, and it's a real finicky system. How it works is it works off of high pressure to make a very small droplet that's 50 microns or less. So that's about this. It's about half the size of a human hair.
Okay.
And what happens is that the roots, it gets sprayed onto the roots, so that water vapor goes into the root zone, and the plant doesn't have to exert any energy to absorb the nutrients. And so versus hydroponics, where there's a lot of hydroponic systems out there because they're less forgiving, and what it does is it cascades the water over the root zone, but the plant has to suck up exert a little bit of energy to suck up the nutrients. Still better than the ground, but not as good as aeroponics. And so what happened? You have a lot of ticked off people, right? Because what happens is your crops would die, right? You got a clog in your system, or it's not spraying the root zone. 6-7 hours of no water and your plants are dead. And so I said, well, you know what? There's another industry that's kind of struggled with this: saltwater fish tanks. They've been killing fish for 50 years. There's a lot of pissed off people in that industry too. So I said, well, you know what? Well, what did they do? Well, they have a monitor system that has 3 diodes that sit in the water, and it monitors the temperature, it monitors the pH balance, it monitors the electricity levels. And so it'll tell you, and they have already a Wi-Fi system that'll connect to an app to connect to your phone. I said, well, there you go. So I basically stole that technology and I put it to the towers. I said, okay, well, I'm going to use that as well. And so I went above and beyond that, though. Seeing that we have AI now, a lot of people are lazy, right? Yeah. And so, they don't want to tend after the plants, right? They just want to eat. And so what we did was, okay, so let's get another off the shelf product that's, I'm not inventing anything new here. I'm just borrowing different technologies and putting into this amazing technology that we have from NASA to grow crops. And so I said, okay, let's make an app. And so this app is going to be amazing. We're working on it now. The development team, my dev guys, they're amazing. I have 2 sets of devs, one for tokenomics and one for the AI. Okay. So the AI devs, they've already built something like this before. It's a little bit morbid, but it's amazing. So they made an AI that will mimic your lost loved ones. So you upload video, audio of your grandpa, grandma, mother, brother, whoever's died, whoever's passed away, and they created an AI that mimics your relative. And so that's the dev team that I'm working on. These guys are amazing, and they're making an AI that's gonna wake you up in the morning. This thing's gonna go. I'm announcing it here too. I'm dropping information right here. This is
awesome,
world exclusive. The name of our AI is gonna be Oliver. It's gonna have a British voice. And so Oliver is gonna wake you up in the morning with a British voice and say, "Well, Mr. Hart, today's a wonderful, beautiful day. It's 80 degrees outside, wonderful day to go to the beach. But too bad you can't go to the beach because you got some crops to tend to. You've got this, and this. So all of the things that you're growing on the tower have a growth cycle, and that data is input into the AI. Nothing really special here. It's a calendar-based protocol. So, let's say tomatoes. Tomatoes, they need to be tended to after 2 weeks to trim the first leaves. It's going to tell you trim the first leaves. Lettuce, same thing. They have certain things that you got to do. Check the water. Check the levels. Check the temperature. It's going to let you know if your system also. It's going to make sure that you're always running at an optimum level. And if something's wrong, the AI is going to let you know. Oliver will let you know that, hey, you got to go check your tower. So that's, so this is kind of a game changer, for the industry. What's awesome is that actually AI and drones in particular, the agricultural industry is pushing this tech. The amount of, if you look at all across the sectors of business, agriculture is leading the show when it comes to drones. I just came back from Amsterdam, where I picked up this hat, by the way, at the PulseChain tour.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a lot of goodies there. It was awesome. That was a great show, man. RG3 put on a great event. It was awesome. Good food. It was VIP. I met some cool people. It was great. So where was I? The drones. So we went to Amsterdam. We went to Green Tech show, and the Green Tech show was amazing. And for one reason and one reason only, I was able to improve my towers. The technology that's in agriculture is absolutely stunning and amazing. And what I was able to pick up, thanks to the marijuana industry, they're leading the industry for lighting, because they have this full spectrum lighting that's blue and reds and purples and oranges, so that you get a maximum growth on the plants, right? And so I said, well, that's amazing. I'm going to use that too. Because you need lights on our towers. So I was able to secure a supplier right there, met everybody right there here on these towers right there. So we're going to be draping like a halo kind of thing over the sides, these strip lights that are going to be purples and blues and oranges. Our growth cycle just got less. So right now you can grow with aeroponics in 29 days from seed to harvest is lettuce. Okay.
Wow.
We've just now pulled that to 26, 27 days with the lighting. So we've also gone through an improvement. We're even pre-launch. We already needed lights. We had the lights. The lights were not, but they weren't the full spectrum lights, right? And so we got a lot going on in the next couple of weeks. Tomorrow, actually, we have our commercial. We have a production company that's got locations in 3 countries. They do music videos, reggaeton videos, and they've done small little movies, private movies, things like that, commercials for television. And so we got a full production. We got actors and
wow,
all the lighting, everything you need, like fully professional audio. And we're doing a commercial for the towers tomorrow. So that's we got a lot of cool, exciting stuff that's coming out.
Let me ask you a couple questions then. So obviously a lot of people are going to be interested in the crypto, but this is unique, right? There's not many projects that I know that are on the PulseChain that are utilizing a literal physical product, but you also call this SOYL energy. And I also see that there's much more to this than meets the eye.
Yes.
So the towers is this core, obviously it's growing, but there's a lot of different reasons that people would want to grow things. There's people who might do it as a business. Others might do it for their health. Tell us about how the intersection between these physical products that create value in your life or in your health or in your business, how do you see the crypto side of things fitting into this? Because you're showing some financial returns, you're showing some things in there that I think are really intriguing. Can you explain the crypto side?
Yeah, there's right now there are a few YouTubers out there that are growing They're doing microgreens, and they're doing veggies, greens. They're doing tomatoes, all sorts of things, and they're making some really good money. And the reason why is because the food costs have gone through the roof. $100 gets you like 4 bags of groceries right now. It's incredible.
Yep.
Everything you reach for on the shelf is $5. It's really getting out of hand. And so that's like one of the main reasons why I said I'm going to really put the pedal down and launch this product, because I feel like I'm going to be really helping people out there. One tower, our industrial size tower, is 144 plants in 1 square meter and 2.5 meters tall. So you can put it in a corner of your room, and you've got 144 plants on that tower. So now you're talking, that's a huge garden, right? Like if you had that on the ground, that would be a massive garden in your backyard, right? So now you're able to pull that into the house. So now you're able to grow on the tower. Remember, you got 144 plants. I mean, you could do tomatoes, you could do zucchini, you could do spinach, you could do kale, broccoli, cauliflower. These things grow amazing on the tower. Lettuce, right? So you've got a lot of the groceries that you would normally, eat. They're at your fingertips daily, right? So you're going to have it right there. You're talking. There's no more farm to market. Now we're talking farm to table. We also we've already got sales to restaurants. We've got a restaurant in Naples, Italy, that's ordered towers for his 3 locations. We've got another location in Colombia, and we're talking to another location in Boston right now. So, this is going to be great. And the concept that they're doing is a salad bar where you could go and you chop your lettuce right off the salad bar. You take your tomatoes right off the tower.
Oh, that's
huge. What a great
fresh.
Concept. What?
Yeah. What a great concept.
And it's 100% pesticide free. This whole, so there's a couple of things. I mean, we can get into a lot of it here. The amount of tokens that are out there, which the number on there on that white paper is 678 billion, right? That is, I didn't just pull that number out of nowhere. That number represents how many tons of nutrient-rich soil there are on this planet. Okay, and so people are talking about climate change and all of these things, which is fine. You want to be conscious of these things, but the real problem is the soil. We are losing our topsoil, and the reason why is because of pesticides. Big agriculture, industrial agriculture, is dumping so much pesticides onto the plants now that it goes into the ground, and it's ruining the ground. We have seen that fertilizer has gone up 4 times in price in the last couple of years, and so farmers are in desperate need of nutrient-rich fertilizer. So one way that we said, okay, there's another technology that we can do on this. It's not the lowest hanging fruit, right? The towers are the lowest hanging fruit, and that's what we're spearheading with right now. But if you want to close the loop with this, and if you want to do this as a business, which I recommend, because everybody knows a restaurant that's local to them. Everybody's got their favorite restaurant. You got your friends. You could start a small business selling food, right? Selling veggies, spinach, kale, all these hot items that people normally buy. And at the same time, if you were to get what's called a bio digester, okay, it's a big black bag. Let's say, like it's our smallest one is 2 meters by 1.5 meters, so it's not that big, but it sits in your backyard under the sun. And you start it with manure, so you're going to get about a 200 kilo bag. You're going to get about 200 kilos of cow manure. You dump it in there, and then you just put your daily food scraps. So you're going to have a bucket of organic waste and a bucket of your other waste that you're throwing away, garbage. And we're going to supply those two. We'll supply nice buckets that have our logo on it. So you kind of and daily or every other day, you dump the organic material into one side of the digester. And every day out the other side is going to come out nutrient-rich fertilizer, liquid form and solid form, both of which are in high demand. Now, the liquid one, you can take that liquid one and put it directly into your tower. Now you've just closed the loop, right? You don't need anybody at that point. If you got the seeds, you now have the fertilizer, and the means to grow your own food, right? And you're not needing anything. The solid fertilizer that you get, you can make compost, or you could sell it to farmers. Farmers are in dire need of organic fertilizer. And it's expensive. So our smallest digester will make 40 liters per day of fertilizer. That's a lot. So you start adding that up, you're talking that's some good money coming in at the end of the month. If right now, if everybody's feeling it, a lot of people are feeling it. The market's really down right now. This is a way to help, to help yourself, help your family, be a provider. I thought one thing I thought about the community, about the PulseChain community. They're very helpful.
Yep.
Out of all the communities out there, I think the PulseChain community is the strongest. Their community, their spaces, the Twitter spaces, like they're just really inviting. And so my dream, my goal is to have a lot of the key people in the PulseChain community having towers and being a provider, right?
Yeah.
Our logo actually stems from the Boy Scout logo. So, and we were actually I was actually kind of lucky with the fleur de lis.
Yeah.
I was lucky that in 15 years of crypto, nobody used the fleur de lis either. So I said, this is amazing. I've got, so I said, okay, we got a cool tile too for our logo. Because Boy Scouts are, they're helping grannies across the road, right? They've always been resourceful. And, so that's what I hope to accomplish here is getting our PulseChain community reliant on themselves, right? Like you can rely on me. I'm growing my own food. The food costs are out of this world. Lettuce right now, at least in Argentina, which is a really, really cheap for agriculture, is right around $9 a kilo for lettuce. Wow. You buy bags for right around 3,000 pesos, which, let's say, just make things easy, $3. It's a little bit less, about $2.75, but whatever. It's 275 cents for 300 grams of bagged lettuce. So that's why I said, if you wanted to do this also as a business, picking up a few towers, you could have easily, 5-6 towers. You have 1,000 plants.
Wow.
There's some YouTubers out there, like I mentioned, making $20,000 a month selling greens, shipping it with Uber Eats or some type of DoorDash.
Well, that's interesting. Let me ask you a couple questions. So obviously there are certain plants that are better for aeroponics than others, right? You wouldn't probably do corn. What are the key things? Obviously, I would think a lot of basil, a lot of leafy greens. Obviously, tomatoes are interesting as well. Do you have like a list of here are the ideal things to basically grow in these towers?
Yeah, and I think maybe some of your viewers are wanting to know. It's hard to do marijuana. Okay, sorry to tell you guys. It will grow supersonic, bubonic, chronic, but it's very difficult, and also tomatoes are too. So the cherry tomatoes do better than the regular tomatoes, and the reason why the marijuana and the tomatoes, like the vine, is the roots. Okay, so if you've got a product that has really long dangly roots or really huge root system, it's going to be problematic because those roots are going to want to drop down inside your tower into the water, and you can't have that. So it'll ruin the plants and ruin the water too. So it's problematic. It can be done, but it's tricky. And there are some people on YouTube that there's a lot of like DIY people out there, and that's what's nice about these towers is that I think once we create this community. On our homepage website, we're going to have our Discord channel where you'll have expert farmers and people that that want to go out and help other people grow. We hope to build this community of farmers that are that will help you grow on your tower and make it successful.
What's so interesting about this project is there's somewhat of a franchise model here, right? You can get towers from me. You probably can get seed. You get the digesters. You get lighting. You get the application. And it's interesting. Now it's a pretty niche group, right? That wants to create a business in this area. But what about somebody who's like, all right, there's I love the connection because you're saying, hey, here's a way rather than mining Bitcoin or running CPUs and burning electricity, actually do something that could be good for your health, but also
Yep.
so who's really the target here? Obviously, not everybody's going to start a new business and go into farming in their home or in some area that they're in. What about the person who is already got a career, not interested in changing? There's obviously something attractive about the token, the tokenomics, those kind of things. Because obviously, if you're going to be successful, you need more than just business owners. What's the
Yep.
value proposition on the token
I
side?
would say I would say it's the mother, right? The mom at home. She's normally taking care of the kitchen most of the time.
Yeah.
And so we have a smaller tower. Our smaller towers, will fit on a kitchen countertop.
Wow.
And so our smallest one has 24 plants. So you could do 24 plants. That's enough for the whole month of mixing it up with your greens and strawberries. You can do strawberries on there. Kiwi also, actually kiwi grows well on the towers. So there are some things that you can grow on the tower. And the AI is there to kind of help you and make sure that your tower is operating well. It has a limp mode in case something goes wrong. It turns into a hydroponic system, which is a cascading water. And obviously, the red lights will be going off that tell you that you need to, check your system. It also has a vacation mode. If you go on vacation, it goes into a vacation mode. So that's, really our target is going to be, somebody that's conscious of, what they're eating and how much they're spending on food, right? Because it's getting out of control. I mean, even the non-organic food is getting out of control. This is also another way. This is a 100% organic, right? It's not just some sticker slapped on there. A lot of the food is like right now is coming from China.
Yeah.
So is it really organic? It's like, who's actually controlling if it really is organic, right?
So do you recommend it
Yeah, I mean
coming, inside? Like, do you recommend, because I would think that the organic nature is if I can
yeah.
keep it outside of
Mhm.
the elements, the bugs, the potential things that could go after it, if it's happening inside, I've got a better chance of controlling, pests and such. Is that kind of what the main application is for, is indoor
Yep.
use?
Yes, if you've got an indoor location next to a window that it gets a lot of sun, that's going to be ideal. And then if you don't have that, that's fine too. That's what the lighting is for.
Okay.
So the full spectrum lighting is going to give, because what happens is it acts as the sun. It comes in on like a daybreak, and it comes in with, it's dimmed, and then it comes in full at midday, and then it dies away at night. So there's it acts as the sun. So that's what the lighting is for.
So if somebody were to come in and they were to buy the
You
towers.
mentioned the token. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
skipped over that part. So the token, yeah. So the token is amazing, and the reason why is because we were able to tie it to the business. First things first, we're a business that has a token. We're not a
Okay.
token trying to be a business, and that's been a lot of the issues with some of these other companies out there that they really struggled to find that that real world application. We're coining this RWB, real world business,
Okay.
and the token. How we're tying it to the company is with the AI. The AI is going to have a monthly subscription. We're going to give a free version, which is very simple, but we're going to have like the full version will be a monthly subscription, and it will be done with an NFT, a subscription NFT. So when you connect your Web3 wallet to the app, it notices that you have a 30-day NFT, 60, 90, 180, 365 NFT, and it'll give you the full access. What's nice about this also is that Oliver will be there also to remind you that you need to pick up another NFT, or say, oh, please don't lose me. We have a great relationship. Do you really want to lose my AI? It kind of helping along with helping make sure that that the bills are paid, so to speak. Obviously, in the end, if the person doesn't want crypto, doesn't have anything to do with crypto. Obviously, we'll take credit card payment for the monthly subscription service, but we're going to give perks for the NFTs, right? So whoever is an NFT holder is going to get some type of perks, and so we're going to entice them to to use it. What I feel is the biggest game changer for PulseChain is that we've been picked up by the crowdfunding formula. They are the #1 premier agency for crowdfunding in the world. They've got a staff of over 75 people, and they just opened up offices in Shenzhen, China. Their average money raise is $1.2 million. Okay. And it's commission only. So they picked us up. So what does that tell us? That tells us that they think that we're going to do $1.2 million on a money raise. So this is fabulous. This is great. We're super ecstatic about this. We're going into pre-launch as soon as this video production is done for the commercial. And so they're going to basically be handling all the tower sales. And then on our website, we're going to be doing the liquidity pools. We've got an amazing dev that is going to be helping with that. We did an NFT. We did an LGE NFT to start this whole, I guess, company into the PulseChain space. We sold out in 10 days. We sold out 20,000 NFTs in 10 days. It was amazing. We didn't do any private sale. Okay, the NFT was basically the private sale. And what it does is it gives you a PLP token in the liquidity pool. But what happens is you put up half and I put up the other half. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So it's a little bit more sustainable this way, right? Because if I just pay somebody to put both pairs, well, what if they take both pairs back, right? And I'm suffering. My project will suffer. So if you put up half and I put up the other half, that's a more sustainable way of doing things. And so we launched with that. And so we feel that, nobody's going to be getting dumped on heads, right? Like there's no rug pull here. There's no getting dumped on your head. We've got an amazing dev that knows what he's doing. And we're really happy about that. And I think that we're kind of setting the tone for how a project should be launched, or at least give people a new perspective and say, hey, you know what? If they don't do an LGE, I don't know if I should invest in that, or or at least take a hard look at it, right? Because you run a lot of risk, otherwise.
So okay, well, let me ask you this: if someone does purchase a tower, is there any sort of do they get token? Is there any distribution? Is there anything, for example, that basically you earn as you use and continue your subscription, or you increase in your purchasing, or you get additional towers? Is there anything tied to that as far as, earning token, almost like by utilizing this and by, using our system, there's some sort of distribution of token, or is it straight market buying?
Yeah. So I think it's just straight market buying. And the reason why is I wanted to tie in more of the towers or the digesters into the token. And my dev, he put it like this. He said, you don't see Apple taking Apple stock for their iPhones.
Yep.
Right. It's not good business. And so we kind of have to have that separation, from that. We are going to give perks and we are going to do things, but as far as like direct, hey, buy the token and then we'll give you a discount for the tower, that doesn't really work, because then we'll just be full of all of our tokens. And that's not the purpose of it. So
okay, well, when do you anticipate launching the token and it being live on the PulseChain?
We're shooting for the 23rd of this month.
Wow, it's soon.
Yes.
Wow.
Finally, I've been working on this for so long. It's every day that goes by now seems like 10.
When could someone buy one of the towers? And you mentioned things were in dev with the application. What's kind of your target on the launch of the towers?
Yep. Yeah, I would love to sell towers right now to the residential, but that's the goal is we want to have a successful Kickstarter, and all of the sales are going to be pushed through them. They handle the whole e-commerce side of the website, and we're just putting a link on our website to their landing page. And so what's nice about that though, that that's going to run for about 4 months, because what happens is they do what's called pre-launch, which is 6 to 8 weeks. And then after pre-launch, then the actual Kickstarter kicks in. And that's another 6 to 8 weeks. And so we're also lining up shows while we're in our Kickstarter mode, going around the world and trying to sell as many towers as possible. So
Well, it sounds
they're
like
pretty confident. Yep.
it sounds like to me that there's, this is going to expose PulseChain to a lot of new people, especially with the
that's the whole point. So
yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, Alex. Actually, I forgot that was the whole point of why I started that conversation. Yeah. So they're expecting, okay, this is from them. They're expecting 10,000 new eyeballs onto our project. Yeah. Awesome. 10,000 that have actually clicked through. Okay, so how many of that convert and how many of that are going to convert into PulseChain? I don't know. But the majority of them most likely will not be in crypto. These are just Kickstarter people. Or maybe they are in crypto. Maybe they have Solana. Maybe they have Ethereum, but they haven't been exposed to PulseChain. And so that's why I feel this is a great way to bring new freshness to PulseChain. And then with our wonderful community, we can kind of help them and say, hey, look, this is the way, right? Low transaction fees, faster transactions, wonderful community, right? These are like things I think that are going to benefit, the PulseChain.
So here's
on our website. So we're going to have a whole section. Our website is really cool. It's going to be like all kind of AI and whatnot. But one of the parts on it are going to be the liquidity farms, and we're going to have 9mm. We're going to have 9-inch. We're going to have PulseX. So all secure dexes we're going to have there. Obviously our tokens are going to be there as well. But we want to put, hey, this is the PulseChain. Not certified, but like kind of like secure, certified, DEX. These are the DEXs. And you can find different products, here. So we kind of want to be a place to where people can go. Hey, what's PulseChain? Go to soylenergy.com. Hey, what's an LP farm? Go to soylenergy.com. And then from there we're going to have the communities. We'll have the different communities as well. Who's there to help and kind of hold the hands of these people. So we're trying our best to just help the community in general. PulseChain needs that. It needs new, fresh people.
Yeah, well, I love what you did there with the freshness. Well, what is exciting to me, Rob, is one, you're building a business that has real products, real value outside of crypto. And personally, I feel like that's really the future. If this is going to ultimately be sustainable, it's going to have to be tied to real stuff. And I really like what you're doing, and the fact that you're not trying to, I guess, do some sort of new thing on the token side. I really like it because, if people are saving money, they're being healthier, you're giving them a product that could be a business opportunity for them. You're addressing a real problem in the market. I'm really interested to see, I feel like there's many things that you could do with the SOYL token itself. But I'm just glad you're building on the PulseChain. I think it's great to have new eyeballs there. But I'm excited. Looking forward to the launch of your token. Is there anything, let people know where they can find you? Obviously, we've got links in the description and such, but I would assume you'd want people to join your Telegram. Is that kind of a primary place?
Yes, the Telegram for right now is probably the best place to get get the news. Also, our Twitter. Our LinkedIn, everything is under the name SOYL Energy. So if you just search SOYL Energy, you'll most likely find it. We are super excited to be on your show, to finally get the word out there. We're helping people. I feel like that we're really helping people in a time of need right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm really interested in. I'm personally interested in what you're doing. I think that a smaller tower that could fit and not be, super cumbersome, but you could have fresh vegetables. And, those are things that you're right. The price is going through the roof, and learning about.
It's super easy. It's super easy. Like most people think it's hard. It really, this is the one thing that's really good about this, like the business model of it.
Yeah.
Because you had mentioned, somebody's working or doesn't have the time. It doesn't take a lot of time.
Yeah.
It takes so the bigger tower, the 144, we've projected, it takes 3 hours per month of your time for 144 plants. So if you think about that, 3 hours out of the month is not that bad. That could be a hobby, right? That would be considered a hobby. And so you can have a hobby at first, to have, make a little extra money. And we're going to be supplying a lot of the stuff. So, the seeds and the bags and the buckets and, all these things that, that you're going to need. This is like a business in a box, so to speak.
Well, yeah. Well, I loved your idea. What I loved you said was, I mean, imagine you created a brand, and I think that this is really clever. If you, grow these things, I could imagine someone, creating a brand, having a YouTube channel, and then providing their product for delivery, like an Uber Eats scenario, where you could bring low cost, fresh vegetables, organic to people's door. And that you're providing that turnkey with kind of AI guidance, for somebody that, may not have the greenest of thumb. But I like it because, I've got kids, and I think just the educational value too of them actually seeing where their food actually comes from and how it works, and learning about aeroponics and all of that, I think is good as well. But dude, it's cool that.
What about when we were in school? I learned about horticulture.
Yeah.
You learned about horticulture too, I'm sure. I mean, I think we're about right around the same age, but kids aren't learning that anymore. Why? That's something that, you should learn how to grow. It's super important. And, touching on the business and the DoorDash and this, whatnot, think about this scenario, okay, where you have a restaurant and he's your customer and he's buying greens from you. Let's say you got your friend, he owns a restaurant. He's like, all right, I'll buy the greens from you. And then you tell him, hey, listen, I'm going to leave you this bucket. I'll pay you for your scraps. You know how much scraps a restaurant has?
Oh yeah. All kinds of,
you're going to, right. And because he's on the system, he's going to have the app. He's going to have the SOYL token. This is where we're able to now tie in the token a little bit harder with the real world, because we're going to give him tokens that can then be used on your greens.
Wow.
Right? If you're selling the greens. So now you just close the loop with him. Now he's not only are you selling to him, but you're also buying from him. And if he's giving you enough of the organic material, you can increase the size of your digester. And I mean, our largest digester is 22 meters. We're talking big.
Wow.
Right? It's producing 4,000 liters a day. Okay. Now you're talking a big business. I mean, this is, you can supply a farmer with all his fertilizer needs, depending on how big you want to go.
This is kind of a nerd question. So let's say my understanding is when the aeroponics actually pushes out that humid air, if you will, the mix of nutrients to that, is that something that's automated? Because you obviously have the liquid when it comes, but that's got obviously mixed water.
That has to be mixed. Mixed. So it's an A and a B. You dump it into the water. You stir it up.
Okay.
And then it'll run. If something goes out of balance, the diodes are always measuring, and so the app's going to let you know. You need to either put a tablespoon more A or a tablespoon more B. But it's also it's nitrogen, phosphorus.
The basic nutrients.
The basic nutrients, yeah. So that's basically what you're dumping in there. When you have a digester, you're able to just take it from there and put it into the other one. So that's that makes it easier because you got all the nutrients right there. You really do have something valuable when you have fertilizer. Listen, all your listeners, don't take it from me. Just Google everything I just said.
Yeah.
Google liquid nutrient rich fertilizer and then click the shopping button and you'll see for yourself how expensive it is.
Wow.
It's not cheap anymore. And so you're making something that is in high demand and is getting super expensive because they're killing it in the world, right? They're dumping, because what happens is the pesticides aren't working as good on the bugs anymore. The bugs are getting used to the pesticides. So they're having to dump more pesticide. And so you've got something, you've got a hot commodity. The fertilizer is a really hot commodity right now. Anybody can go on Google, you'll see that for yourself.
So you're the only guy in crypto who's not offended by shit token. Am I right?
You know, I've bought my fair share. I mean, I've been in this for,
No, I'm
you know,
kidding with
for
you.
9 years. You know, I've been 9 years in this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You
So
don't realize
I've
you're
had,
actually selling the right stuff. Well, Rob, this has been awesome, man. I'm looking forward to seeing your progress, watching your launch, and then I'm really
thank you.
curious. I mean, anybody's interested in this, I'm excited to see you doing it yourself or other people doing it with your product, because that's going to gain a lot of confidence with people. I love the fact that you're using the Kickstarter outside of the community rather than doing some sort of, you know, fundraise inside the community. This is really cool and different. And so I just want to, I want to compliment you on, you know,
Thank you
going
so much.
after it, man. That's big
Thank
and
you
it's
so much.
different.
We,
And
we are
I'm
gonna we are gonna take
refreshing.
some revenue also and buy up our token.
Yeah.
We do have some of those plans. We just don't know what that number is,
Yeah.
and we want to get a little bit more creative in that. We don't just just buy up our token and that's it. No, we want to maybe help out with the liquidity pools or help out with the NFTs. Maybe we'll take some of that profit. We'll create a pool, and then with those profits from the pool, we gift the token holders or gift the NFT holders. So we're trying to do some type of crafty ways with our dev team to bolster the token as well.
Well, what I like about it too is that you're not completely relying on the token and just, the meme of it. You actually have a business and something substantial behind it. Well, Rob, thanks so much, folks. You can check out SOYL Energy. I would encourage you guys to read the white paper. It's very detailed. And Rob, I encourage you to reach out to other folks in the community to get on and to get exposed. There's 234 people here across 3 platforms. That's really good turnout.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. And the timing couldn't be better, Rob, because we're getting close to, my calculation is we're going to see the banana zone of this next bull run starting in early November, right after the election. And folks, get ready. So your timing couldn't be better. It's wonderful to meet you, and I wish you all the best with this project.
Thank you. And you've got a feather in your cap because you are the first one to interview me.
Oh,
and so,
boom.
so when we're down the line, having in the middle of our Kickstarter and raising millions of dollars, I interviewed him first.
Yeah, there you go. I hope that's the case,
awesome.
man. Well, it's so
man,
good to see you. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll catch you in a little bit here in the green room.
Okay, cool.
Well, folks, there you go. Another project. Here's the thing, you hear all kinds of different projects, right? And we're in kind of meme token land, right? Everybody's got the latest thing. And if you think about what's behind a meme token, well, not a whole lot, right? And it's almost and that's kind of what the frustrating thing for me is the future of crypto is ultimately tying it to real stuff, right? The long-term sustainability. It's fun to get the big jumps on, meme tokens, but you got to be, you got to get lucky in a way. I like the fact that there are people out there who are building real value. And I like you said this, it's not a token with this business. This is a business that we're doing with a token. And that's not easy, right? It's not easy to do any of that stuff. It's got some really innovative approaches to that. And, it's like anything. You got to have the right timing, the right team, all of that, leadership, products, all those things. But I like people, tying crypto into real world businesses, because if you think about it, let's say this product is valuable. It's valuable to the person in the home. It's valuable to people that create businesses. It's getting them, I think just fresh vegetables in general for families is something, so much processed food. If this can help people be healthier, it can potentially create revenue for them, and a business is sustainable. Those are the kind of things that I think are going to be attractive in the long run. And this is what we're trying to do here, is to expose our community and to find someone like Rob who's saying, I'm building exclusively on the PulseChain. I mean, there are risks inherent in that. And so I just appreciate the community being loyal to this PulseChain community. And I thank you for coming on to view this information about SOYL Energy. Once again, I'll make sure it's clear there. I've not been paid for this. There is no token. I have no involvement with the team. I just want to do the service. So if there are projects who are legitimate people doing legitimate work that aren't trying to scam people, you are welcome on this channel. Folks, I'm excited about the future. It's July 10th right now. I believe we're going to see this next really big run following the election. It really is hard watching the charts and where they are. It's depressing for a lot of people, but I'm going to tell you folks, hang on. These things are like clockwork. And I know that there's a lot of reasons to be, worried or concerned. Hang on. You've hung on this long. We will make it. Folks, thanks for joining the Pulse today. My name is Matt, the Script of Heartbeat. Take care and do not mess with Texas. Take care, everybody.